Everybody, welcome to this Xbox Life episode number 545, titled The Black Hole. My name is Rob, also known as Presarth. This is the show about Xbox, gaming, anything else we want to talk about. And with me, as always, I have my good buddy, Mark.
Hey, everybody. And Rob, your videos
It's in the black hole.
Yeah, it is.
That's what I was going to say.
Put that up. We should have put that up for both our videos today.
Yeah. When I hit start, I noticed that my webcam wasn't lit up. I don't know. Maybe it's better that it's not. Who knows? Actually, here, let me try to do a little bit of yeah, see if I can do this. Yeah.
Keep adjusting stuff, but we are not affiliated with Microsoft or the Xbox in any way. This is a show being done by fans for fans of the Microsoft Xbox. The views and opinions expressed in the show do not necessarily reflect those of Microsoft. So while we're working that, hopefully Rob can. Robin, I do think if you can't get it, you should just grab an image of the black hole and stick it in there.
Oh, there you go. That'd be cool.
So, but I would rather see your smiling face if possible.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking that for some reason Discord grabbed the thing. Actually, here, I'm going to switch back to the starting. But we're still, you can keep talking. Keep talking while I mess with this. So, are we in what have we been playing? Actually, you know what? No, I need to be a part of this. Heck, I'm going into I'm just a gray, no, a green. I almost knocked over a chair. I'm just a green background.
Yeah, you're just green.
Yes.
That's it. You're calling in from the black hole. That's
exactly.
So, all right. So yeah, I know. So I'm just gonna real briefly just say this. I played some Gems of War. Big surprise. I actually played Borderlands 3 one day, did one mission, and was so bored with it, I stopped. I just can't get into that.
Wait, which one?
Borderlands 3.
Okay.
But it's not the game. It's not the game. It truly is me. I'm sitting here. I need to play Wolfenstein Youngblood. I've got Borderlands 3. I've got the Far Cry 5. What is it? New Dawn or something that I haven't finished. I've got Rage 2, which I've barely started. I've got so many games sitting here. Like, I didn't even buy the new Tom Clancy game, the Ghost Recon, because it's like, oh, and I haven't finished the Division 2. I've got such a huge backlog, and I have really no desire but to play one game these days.
No way.
And I know people are hating us for this. But this is going to be real heavy into our favorite game tonight because, well, season 2 or chapter 2, season 1 just started. And this was a big news event this weekend. So I think Rob and I are going to spend a little bit of time on Fortnite, but don't give up on us, people. I've seen people have pulled their Patreon subscriptions and they probably unsubscribed to us. I've gotten several messages like, when are you just going to change to this Fortnite life? And people are getting tired of it, but it's what we're playing. And I just, I can't. Yeah, right now, in my life with what's going on. I just need something that's not that frustrating. That's something I can just sit down. I can play
That's
a
light.
game, and that's light. That's kind of fun. I can play it with my kids, and maybe here in a couple months, I might share what's going on. Um, but right now, it's just a personal thing. So um, I just need something light. So Rob's gonna have to be the anchor for the hardcore games. It's something tells me that's not gonna happen.
Hey now.
But don't give up on us. Hey, well now there's like a
I know.
black background around you.
I know. I'm working on it.
So again, but what have you
There we
played
go.
this week, Rob?
Apparently my webcam decided to go all black then. All right,
Wow,
whatever.
the whole screen is gone.
No,
Hey,
I
I'm
was
back.
switching to my webcam input just so I could get rid of that black window.
Uh,
Anyway, what was your question? I'm about ready to throw Streamlabs out the window.
Rob, are you
Hopefully open the window
there?
first. Yeah.
So what have you played, Rob?
Yeah, so I played my usuals, right? Clash Royale. The new season for that started last week. So I got the new um, Pass Royale. It's a pretty good one. It's, you know, Halloween themed. Some decent stuff. They have an Elixir Golem in there now, which is it's kind of cool. They had this Elixir Golem event that if you played it all the way through, you just got tons of stuff, tons of chests, tons of gold. It was good. And then I've also been playing Call of Duty Mobile. So that came out a while back, and um, I have a really hard time playing with it on my phone, just because like everything's so small. And once you get to the age of um, myself, aka less than wing, then
By 1 year.
yeah, you kind of have eyeball issues, right? Well, I've had them all my life, but they're actually worse now. So like I've been doing for about the last year or two, on and off with reading glasses, and I find that playing games is a lot easier when you're doing reading glasses on the cell phone at least. And then for the computer, I actually have computer glasses, which are a lower prescription, and those help out a lot. But still playing on that small form factor is, even though I have like almost a 6-inch screen, 5.5, 6-inch screen with my
Yeah.
Note, not Note, S9 Plus, it's still small, especially, when, we all have big TVs for our consoles. I've got 3 monitors, which are all fairly, good size. So, you get used to that, right? And even on a tablet, I guess would be better, but just the phone, which is my main mobile gaming device, it's just tough. So I actually found out that Tencent, the dudes that made Call of Duty Mobile, they actually created something called Game Loop, which is an Android emulator specific to their games. So basically everything that Tencent has created, PUBG, all that other garbage that they made, plus Call of Duty Mobile, it's all available on there. So it's a fairly simple install, and it's just easy. None of this like hacking stuff together, editing config files, which is kind of like how it used to be when you ran Android games on emulators in the past. This thing just works, and it's really well done. And if you do decide to give this thing a shot, be really careful where you pull it down from, because when I was looking, it was like a lot of shady sites, like, oh, download it here, and then spelling's not 100%. So
Yeah.
the malware dudes are really, I'm sure, taking advantage of it. for the people that are, not quite aware, and, they might just download anything. So be really careful if you give it a shot. It's called Game Loop again, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's simple. It's not a very complex game. And have you tried it, Mark, at all?
No.
Call of Duty Mobile?
Nope.
Yeah, I mean,
No. No, I can't. I
yeah,
just cannot see playing Call of
on a
Duty
small
on the phone.
screen. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So,
the cool thing about it is it really reminds me of the system kind of that they did with Asphalt, the driving game, Asphalt Legends, where they really simplified the gaming experience. Because in Asphalt, you're not really steering; you're just shifting the car in like slots, basically, or going after power ups. And they kind of did a similar type of thing with this, where you can control the movement of your character, but shooting can basically be automatic. So as soon as like you use your left thumb, to control, and then, the movement, and then you use your right thumb to then, like aim, right? Or look around is maybe a better term.
yep.
But as soon as you hover over a character, then it automatically starts shooting. So, it's none of this. I have to, aim, and then I have to start shooting. Although there is, I forgot what they call it. It's like an advanced mode where you basically have to kind of like be in the vicinity of a character, or not a character, of an opponent. And then you just hit this other button, this like shoot button, and it kind of auto targets on them. So you have a couple different ways to play, but it's pretty fun. It's nothing stellar. It's definitely one of those where they're kind of like, pushing you to, get the battle pass kind of thing, pushing you to buy things all the time. So, I mean, that's what you get for like a free game, right? Especially mobile.
Yeah.
But it's done pretty well, and I was pleasantly surprised. I was really expecting a train wreck, kind of like the Command and Conquer game that was released by EA. Was that this year, last year? Anyway,
That was terrible, man.
yeah. I was sort of expecting something like that, but
Yeah.
Tencent did, they did PUBG Mobile, which a lot of people apparently like, and I don't think I've ever played the mobile. Actually, no, I did install it when it first came out. But yeah, I really didn't play it very much. But this thing is decent. It's not bad. If you want something to play, the games can be fairly quick, less than 10 minutes. If you do I like doing the multiplayer battles. Kill House is my favorite map. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. There's a battle royale portion to it that's not bad. Typical battle royale kind of gaming, with light graphics, mobile experience. It's decent. But yeah, so I played that. I also played Wargroove. This is a game that came out quite some time ago, earlier this year sometime, and it's in Game Pass. Yeah, it's in Game Pass, and it's Play Anywhere as well. So you might want to check it out. This is the game, I've talked about it before. This is the game that is basically a clone of the old Nintendo handheld game called Advance Wars, and then all of the games that followed it. Basically, it's a turn by turn strategic battle game, right? So you're going into these missions and you have a small screen. It's old school graphics. It's basically, think back Game Boy Advance, or I don't know I think they had something on 3DS, but definitely Game Boy Advance and the original DS. They had some games that were of this style, but it's a turn by turn strategy game. You're trying to fight an enemy. You have to conquer cities. You have different kinds of units, everything from swordsmen to pikemen to knights. You have your leader, and you're just trying to fight off the enemy. It's a little capture what's it called? I keep wanting to say capture the flag. Area control is what I was looking for. So it's a little bit of area control where you control the cities, and there's some strategy trying to get certain units in. You don't want to go too close with a unit that can really be nailed by the archers. The knights can attack from really far away. If you attack from 6 squares away, then they get like a crit hit when they attack. And I mean, it's just a fun game. They have a cool storyline. It's very well done. And like I said, it's on PC, it's on Xbox, and it's in Game Pass. So if you've got Game Pass, you can give this a shot for free. Old school game, a lot of fun. Some of these games do take a long time. Like there is one game I played it, wow, at least like an hour plus. Just trying to, I mean, it was like a push pull type of scenario where I would get a little ahead and then I'd get knocked down, get a little ahead, get a little, get knocked down. And, I guess at some point you just got to learn the strategy, right? You got to learn to not overcommit with the heavy units because they're expensive, and when they get wiped out, you're kind of defenseless. So you got to figure out what the sweet spot is, both with the expensive units and the cheap units. But I did play some of that. That was a good time. And what the heck was? And I gave what was that game? It's called The Northmen or something. Let me see what the heck that game was. There's another. What?
The Northman?
Yeah, it was. Oh man. It just went into. No, not. It was something like that. It's this like Viking game, right? Oh man, now.
Oh, Northman, a Viking saga.
No.
Is that? Oh no, that's not it. Oh well, it doesn't matter if you can't remember. Yeah. It must not be worth talking about.
No, so this game looked cool. This mysterious game, right? See now.
Is this an Xbox or is it on Game Pass?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here, I'm gonna find the name. I'm determined. I will do it. But oh no, not Bad North. That was it, not Northman.
Wow.
Yeah, that was close,
not
right?
Close.
I had 5 letters right. So Bad North Jotun edition. So I saw this game when it was originally coming out, and it looked interesting because I tend to like these games that have like a different look to them, because it just looks interesting. It's kind of appealing, like a unique experience, because I'm just tired of like the samey games, right? So
this looks terrible.
So yeah, it lasted like 15, 20 minutes, and I'm like, I'm gonna try this another day. And we all know what that means.
You're not coming back though. It means you might as well delete it.
Pretty much, reclaim the disk space. But exactly. It's one of those things maybe where it's like you're tearing through the tutorial and you kind of like half read something, and then you click off of it and you're like, wait, what did it say? So I played this game and I got like 3 maps in, and then I just got annihilated. I'm like, I'm really not sure what to do. I'll do this another day. But it looked interesting. The art really reminds me of that Monument Valley game that was on mobile like a couple of years back, where you just have like something in the middle of your screen and you can kind of spin around it, but it's not a puzzle game. It's some kind of, you're being attacked by Vikings and you have troops and you're supposed to fight the Vikings off. So it's kind of like a new take on a tower defense style game. At least that's the take that I got on it. But yeah, so I played that, and I think that was it. Oh, it was funny. So I've been playing on my Xbox One S upstairs,
Uh-huh.
and I haven't been playing on my X downstairs in a while. And I booted up my X for the first time in a couple weeks, and it showed that there's over 200 updates.
Oh,
Like, oh man. If
they're
I
probably not small.
no, I mean, I turned off the updates I don't know how long ago. And I think I don't know if it's a 4 or a 6 terabyte drive on there. So there's a lot of games installed on that system. And I was just thinking, I'm like, what is this going to do to my Comcast band data cap?
Cap.
It's going to shoot through it like, Forrest Gump running through the goal line. I don't know what the heck just happened here with my phone. I got to mute this thing. Oh,
Yeah, you better.
My son just
better
sent
go in
me
and turn
6
those off.
text messages.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
They're going, Dad, let's play Fortnite. Stop podcasting.
Yeah, but and then the last thing is, of course, the game that shall be named. Should we talk about that now?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay. So
No one's listening to us anyway,
So,
so
yeah.
we can just go on all night about it.
for
No one
those of
cares.
you that don't know, which is basically anybody who hasn't watched the news or read anything on the internet, somebody who's been a shut-in for the past week, they don't know, but everybody else knows that season 10 for Fortnite ended on Saturday at 1 p.m. Central.
The Sunday, right?
So did I say Saturday? I meant Sunday.
It was Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday, 1 p.m. Central. And, so the season was supposed to end the week prior. It got extended a week, which is cool. Just give you some more stuff to do. And then there was this big thing, and they were like, kind of hinting at the end, right? This is the end of the season, or is it? Or is it the end of more? So you didn't make the event, right, Mark? I think you were.
No,
you
I
weren't
did
home.
not.
Yeah. So on Sunday we had something to do, and then we rushed home. Yeah. So we rushed home. We were out and about, and we got home like 15 minutes to, and lo and behold, we couldn't log in. So we've had problems a couple seasons ago getting in, but for the most part, they've been pretty good about, having ample server supply, or whatever, or there wasn't any issue, long story short. And this time there sure was. So you couldn't get into Fortnite. The Epic Game Store was down. It got hit hard, which actually apparently affected a whole bunch of people from even trying to launch other games that they bought from the Epic Store, right? Because you can buy games in there, or
Right.
they give lots free actually, but you can get games through the store, and it works like Steam. And so people couldn't do that either, and it was kind of a mess, at least for us. And I also found out later that all the people logging into Twitch actually affected Twitch like for half an hour also. So all the people that couldn't get in were probably trying to, go to Twitch to see what was going on, to witness the live event. We actually went on YouTube. That was fine. That wasn't affected. But the whole premise of the event basically was that there was the visitor who's like a scientist. He's talking about this thing called the 0 point which I think is that orb. I think that's what he was talking about, right? At the big ball
Yeah.
in Loot Lake. So
Yeah, the big rift.
yeah. So there was a rocket that shot out of one of the areas called Dusty Depot. A rocket that shot up and then it went around the map a couple of times and it like multiplied itself, which was kind of interesting because we've seen the rocket flying around a couple seasons ago. And then eventually there was this big, uh, meteor? Because it's not a comet,
Yeah.
because I think comets are in outer space. But there's this big meteor that was stuck over the map for the entire season. That then went into like a rift and it came down on that circle, on that orb. And that basically like imploded the whole map. So like everything, wait, I think it took you, no. So there's two things that happened. So if you were in the event, it blew you out of the like off the map, like really far away,
Out
and
into space.
yeah, and then like everything got sucked in to that central point, and then it turned into a black hole. If you got into the lobby of the game, then it would like show technical difficulties,
Yeah.
and then your friend count would go from 99 to 0. You had no V-Bucks, and then that would slowly just get sucked into a black hole, black screen, black hole in the center. And that's how it stayed for what, a day and a half?
Yeah.
Almost 2 days.
So Sunday, from Sunday, 1
One central.
1 p.m. Central Time until 5 a.m. Tuesday morning Central Time.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, yeah, I guess a day and a half.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, you would have thought that the world had ended.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, it kills me. Like, how many people like this that really freaked out over this?
Oh yeah.
And it's just like, people, there's more important things in the world. Take a break. Go do something else, Go play another game if you got to play a game.
Yeah.
But it was just like, there was, I got a story that like kids were freaking out. There's all kinds of stuff. You could see pictures of kids crying and just freaking out and videos of this stuff. And, these kids just freaking out. But even parents were getting freaked out because they thought they'd lost all their money that, they'd paid for. And so I guess they were calling in and taking Epic's phone lines down because they were like wanting to know what was going on and did they lose all their money? And,
well, but the thing, so I thought that was ridiculous because
yeah,
the fact that you buy something digitally does not mean that you own it forever.
you don't. It's rental.
Basically, yeah. It's you are like when you buy your $20, Fortnite skin, right? When you buy that, you are purchasing basically the license to use it. And that is all. They can take it away whenever they want. And they can take the game away whenever they want. It's just the fact that these people are like outraged and wanting their money back. It's like, I'm sorry, you don't know how this stuff works, apparently. Yeah. And, I was thinking too, like maybe we're spoiled by, like all the stuff that gets like delisted from the stores. You still have access to it, right? Like, the mobile stores or even on Xbox or, cause if, weren't there some like Lego games that got delisted? Well, there was a Telltale stuff too, right?
Yeah.
That stuff got delisted.
Stuff that's been delisted, yeah.
Yeah, so if you had it, you could still play it.
Right.
But technically, if it's gone, they can also deactivate it so you can't even play it. And they can take servers down, which has happened with a lot of titles, over like 8-10 years old. Like those old, like some of those racing games. I think some of the sports games, some of the shoot 'em ups and stuff, they just don't work anymore. Because, Go ahead.
Well, this is a very popular game. I mean, I don't understand why people would even think that it was gone, like that it was over. People are like, it's over, and blah blah blah, and it's like, no, it's not. It's not over.
Hmm. I was talking with my son, I think it was yesterday, where we're talking about like how desperate people were for information, and maybe it's a lot of kids, right? They don't know how stuff works. They're very susceptible to, if it's on the internet, it's truth.
Yeah.
And it was basically like a mob mentality
Yeah.
the entire time. Somebody would say, "Oh, it's Fortnite's coming back at midnight," and then all of a sudden, everybody's on the midnight uh, bandwagon. In part, I think it's because they're so eager to have it back because they don't know what to do, like go outside and play or whatever. I don't know, play something else.
Yeah.
And but the one thing I was really, really, really surprised about was how so many streamers took advantage of the situation. And I mean,
Oh, dude.
I was disgusted. I was
I was
so
too.
disgusted by so many streamers because my son was flipping through a bunch of different ones and just trying to find information. It was sort of like an entertainment thing, just watching streamers, listening to their theories, and I mean, I guess that's the equivalent of news nowadays for some folks. But just the just the scammy way that they used the situation to keep people on their stream.
Yeah.
Because
It was not good.
the longer they sit, the more money they make, the more people there were so many people that were just given outright bogus information and hyping people up, demanding like likes and subscription and all sorts of stuff. And there was one of the more popular streamers, Dr. Lupo, like he did this thing where they kept coming to him so much trying to find out when it would come back that I guess he got annoyed and he said, "You know what? Give me 100,000 likes and I'll tell you what's going to happen, what I know." And I think he got him. But
Ah,
but the thing is, you know, he I don't think was professional. That's kind
right.
of a jerky thing to do.
Yeah.
Especially these people like, he's an older guy, right? I don't know exactly how old he is, but he's got to be like late 20s, early 30s, I would think. And you got to consider your audience. The majority of people that probably watch him are all teenagers and preteens. So if you
And you and
say,
I.
yeah, but that's fine.
Oh
but
goodness.
but the thing is, it's like you're basically telling gullible people, especially when they're desperate,
Yeah.
and you're telling them to do things that benefit you, and that's not cool. It's at least have some professionalism. And then all these other guys that were just trash. I mean, it's sickened me. Like the bogus stuff that they spewed and it wasn't even like guessing. I mean, it was just basically saying like, I have this information. It's going to come out here. And then like when it would, it would say like, stay with me, stay with me. We'll get this figured out. Then it's going to start at 1 o'clock and,
Oh
1 o'clock rolls by and it's like 2 o'clock and, they stretch it. It's just so shady. I mean, I was so disgusted, but
dude,
anyway.
people. There were streamers that were their titles of their show were like Fortnite season 11 live. Watch it here. And it's like, no, it's not. I'm looking at the Fortnite official Mixer page, and it's a black hole. And it's like you've got some of these people, and if you go and look at it, it's just like replays of their old stuff, and they're just talking. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. They're just trying to get noticed. They're taking advantage to try to get themselves out there. And it's like, this is ridiculous, because as soon as it comes out and all the real streamers are doing it, you're gonna have one night of big numbers, and then it'll never come back.
Oh yeah.
It's just so weak.
Yeah. But we had almost 2 days of the black hole, which I call the Fortnite screensaver. They should come out with that. I'd like to have that on my computer as a screensaver.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, so they took all this time to switch over, and I mean, Mark and I both work in the tech industry, and computer server experience and stuff, and my whole synopsis of what basically happened is that they changed basically from Fortnite 1.0 backend, server backend, to 2.0.
Yeah.
On a global scale, I can't even imagine how long that took, how much of an effort that must be to change everything over on a global scale.
Yeah.
And have it work.
Yeah.
Without like a huge train wreck, up, down systems, it's because I was telling my son, because we were talking about it, because I told him the same thing, where when you have a game like this, when you bring it back up, you want it to work. None of this, right? None of this, it works for an hour, these systems are down. That's no. If you're going to disconnect it, you wait until it's done. And I told my son, I'm like, if they're down, give them all the time that they need. We want it to work. It would be 10 times worse, 10 times more crying from people if they brought it up, let's say Monday morning, and it was half-assed, right? It was half-assed and it didn't work. But, I mean, I've done a lot of server moves and migrations and system changes, and this is with phone systems on a much smaller scale, where it's a lot of work. And like I said, I can't imagine what their back end must have been on a global scale, right? You have Europe, you have Asia Pacific, you have, I think China has their own, right? System somehow. I think I don't know if they're isolated or what it is, but you have all of these global systems that need to tie together. They need to be updated, and they need to work, and they need to handle the load, because Tuesday morning they must have gotten hammered, right?
Oh yeah.
All the people logging in. Granted, early.
I didn't hear anything about even login issues.
Nope. Yeah.
And that might be because of the time of day. Like in North America, it was the middle of the night.
Yeah,
so
but in Europe, it would have been the morning, right?
But it was also a work week.
Yeah. So
they probably timed it really well if it would have gone live on a Friday night at 8 p.m., bam. I mean, you would have had login issues. They had over 7 million people watching the live event on Sunday through Twitch, Mixer, YouTube. There was over 7 million people watching.
Let alone the people that were in game that could log in, right?
Right. No, I'm talking about watching the streams.
Right.
Over 7 million. So
right.
that's like
plus
those that were, plus all the people that were actually connected
in the game,
to the
right?
Servers. Right.
Which is probably a couple million at least.
Yeah, I would imagine. So, I mean, that's a tremendous amount of interest. So, for people saying, "Oh, this game's dead," or it's not.
No. It made for a game that everybody's like poo-pooing, kind of like, oh, it's It's dead. You know, people are moving on. People are losing interest. It made all the news outlets, right?
Oh, this was a huge marketing thing for them.
Oh
Talk
yeah,
about free marketing for a game that's what, 2 years old?
yeah.
I mean, this was brilliant what they did. And I know I had started to tell you offline about this, but you know, it was interesting because if you went to the Xbox, because Xbox actually had issues Sunday as well. It would come up. I had the problem where it would come up and say, "Oh, you need an update, like an Xbox update for the OS," but it would say it failed. And you try again, nothing. It would kick. The only thing you could do is say skip it, and then it'd kick you offline. And so it kept doing this. I hard reset my box, and nothing was working. So then I'm like, I better go see what the status on live is, and it turns out a lot of people were being affected by that same exact issue. And then probably within 2 hours, that was gone. And my box was back to working fine. And I've yet to get any update now. Uh, but so they had an issue on top of it. But it was interesting because when I went to the Xbox Live status page, they said Fortnite was down. It showed it as down. And I was like, well, technically it's not, because it's a planned maintenance. It was planned. They just didn't tell us the plan, But it did exactly what they wanted it to do. It was all part of the story, which I think is so cool.
That's well done.
The most popular game out there today that they bring in, oh my gosh, probably millions of dollars a day. I mean, they make like hundreds of millions a month on this game.
Yeah.
It's insane. And they were like, we're going to take it offline for a day and a half. And it's like, that's a ton of lost revenue. That's why I'm like, nah, this will be back up. When it went down and we're just sitting there and everybody's just watching the black hole, and like hours and hours are going by and everybody's like, what's going on? And Epic's like Fortnite Twitter page went down. Like all these things went down. It was all planned.
Yeah.
It's all part of like everything got wiped out. And that's like, it was really cool to watch when I logged in after the live event. Like you said, I logged in and I'm at the lobby, and all of a sudden it's like error, and all these things are going on, and the screen starts, and my character just like gets really small and sucked into the black hole. And then it was just sitting there, but it was like a live image. It was moving. It was like a dynamic image, I guess you could say. And randomly throughout time, it would spit out codes.
Mm-hmm.
And people were figuring out that somehow these codes tied into messages that, at the very end of the game of season 10, there was these messages that we had to collect. And
the visitor tapes.
The tapes. And it was like, they were kind of pointing back to that. And so, and here's another thing too. You could still play Fortnite. You could still play it
ish
if you knew the game wasn't dead. So when you're on the black hole page, which everyone was, if you put in the Konami code, it would bring up like a Galaga-like game where you were a slice of pizza, and like these Durr burgers were coming down the screen, and you could shoot them and shoot the Durr burgers, and then after a little bit, a big giant Durr burger would come down, and you'd shoot it, and then another wave would come. So it was like Galaga. Yeah. If you remember back to those days, that's exactly what it was. So I sat there playing it for a while, like just wondering, well, I wonder if this will do anything, or what if you get a certain score? So it defaulted to like Jonesy and Peely had they had the high scores, and I played till I was the number one, so I beat them. And then I finally handed it over to my youngest. I was like, my thumb's getting tired of hitting the A button.
Yeah.
And so he played for a while, and then he's like, how do I quit this? He got bored with it. And it just didn't do anything. But technically, Fortnite was playable, just not in the way we're used to. And it was planned. So it's kind of weird. It's like Fortnite's out. It was not, I wouldn't classify it as an outage because this was planned. This is what they did. And again, now here's the weird thing. So first of all, my thoughts are, well, it was a free game. You know, it regardless of how much money you've dumped into it to buy cosmetics, it's a free game.
Yes.
You don't own it. You know, and like what you said earlier, they could take it offline anytime they wanted. And so we don't own the game or anything like that. But what about those like myself who paid a lot of money 2 years, 3 years ago, whenever it was, for Save the World? Because even Save the World went offline.
Right.
And I was kind of like, okay, now that stinks because I paid a lot of money for this and I would have gone and played Save the World while Battle Royale was down. Now, so I don't know why Save the World went down, but I think there's, like you said, I think there's some back end stuff that's tied together. Like I know right before it all went down, they had updated Save the World to be like some of your skin, not your skins, but like your music
the dances
stuff would and stuff
music,
would get emotes would come over.
Yeah.
So
Pickaxes,
maybe it all had to go down, but to me those were always separate. Like Save the World came out long before Battle Royale did. You know, that was like kind of like an afterthought of because PUBG was so popular. It was almost seemed like, oh, they just rushed this and tacked it on and copied it, and it became an instant overnight success. So how those two got tied together, I don't know, and I'm not sure how they're tied together. But it's back. I can play Save the World now, and I will say I was a little disappointed when I loaded it up, and it's the same loading screen that I've been looking at for 3 years. I was like, come on, you couldn't change the loading screen on Save the World, and they still have the beta tag on it, which I'm like, come on, take the beta tag off.
Yeah.
I think we're beyond that stage, but nope, it still says beta. But it wasn't a big deal, and I think it was a really neat what they did, and like you said, technologically, what they've accomplished because it looks like all my stuff is there, as far as I can tell. Going through it, the dances that I used, the emotes. I know I don't use like sprays, but it looks like they're all there. All my skins are there. I've had no problem. I was on pretty early. I was up early with my kids to get them off to school way early. And I'm like, I'll check it out. And it was up. And that was about 5 a.m. So it only been on for about 2 hours. And walked right in. No problems. So that's pretty impressive. And I think the only thing that they've seen so far, as you mentioned earlier when we were playing tonight, was they put up a message about privacy filters to double check your privacy filters. Those might have been reset. And the only thing I have seen is I'm seeing some kind of graphical glitches in the game. Like every once in a while, I'll see it's almost like I don't know how to explain it, but I think it's just screen tearing.
Okay.
You'll see like all of a sudden a portion of the screen there's like a black line or something going out in front of you. And so I'm sure, but that's it. It doesn't impact the gameplay. It's just, you can see them every once in a while. That was never there before. So I'm sure that will get fixed. Again, it's 2.0, so it's a .0 release, and they'll find stuff like that will need to get fixed. The boats can go on land; they'll probably fix that. So,
yeah,
I'd imagine.
But before we get into the game, let's talk about what happened, like when it came back and stuff. So to talk about like, Sunday it went into the black hole. We had the almost 2-day long screensaver. Yep. Very well done. And actually I was just thinking about while you were talking, it was orchestrated pretty well. Just go to the black screen, show a black hole, aka screensaver, delete all the Twitter messages. What Instagram, I think they said they just blacked out all the pictures that were there, and then like in the center, because I saw something where it had like it was almost like a 3x3 grid of pictures, and then the center one was black hole, and then the ones around it were just black screen. Just the fact that they orchestrated this, it followed a storyline of, hey, all this stuff, it got destroyed by the 0 point, everything got sucked in, and, here's where we're at. What's going to happen? Everybody's sitting on the edge of their seat. And like Mark said, the game came back early this morning on Tuesday. And you want to talk about what we saw when we got into the game?
Go ahead. I've been chatting for quite a while.
Okay. So I guess we got a little bit of a tease because yesterday they leaked I don't know how they got it, if they pulled it from the files and decrypted it or whatever, but they pulled the video, I think it was for the Battle Pass.
Battle Pass trailer.
Yeah. So that got leaked. Epic was originally shutting it down as soon as people would post it, but then finally they said, okay, you guys can do it. No worries. You can post it. Go ahead. And it showed us some of the stuff that was coming in this game that looked different. It had a lot of new stuff. And when you got into the game, one thing before I go into this, while the game was down, you got this screen that said Battle Royale Save the World Creative. So you could choose what game you want to play or what mode you want to play. If you clicked anything other than Battle Royale, you had this voice. It's Ray, the robot from Save the World.
Yeah.
Where she's talking about how time was broken. It's like we sort of broke time and, just need some time to figure it out. And it was kind of looping. And I was thinking to myself, how many people that are hearing this today actually even know who this person is? Who is this character? Because they've never even played Save the World. All they do is Battle Royale. So that was kind of just one of the things I was thinking about. But anyway, so you go into the game, you go into Battle Royale, and it showed you the black hole. And then all of a sudden, all this stuff started coming out of it, right? First it was like stars and everything. So all this stuff came out, and then you see like a galaxy or the universe. And then there's a footstep. So it was like a reflection in a puddle. So I thought that was kind of funny. And then it went into the trailer. So we got to see all this stuff, new characters. The whole map is different. It's a lot more modern. It's not a mishmash of all these different disconnected things and biomes like it was before. But it looks cool. It's got like a big dam. It's got a nuclear reactor like with 2 cooling towers, and there's boats. There's all this other stuff. So it goes through and it shows you all this stuff kind of like as a teaser of what's happening. And then you see like a battle bus, and then the character Jonesy goes and he like runs out of the back of the battle bus, and then the camera is like above him. And then I was like sitting there, I just hit the mic, sorry if y'all heard that, but so you see Jonesy falling down to the map, and it's like, wait a second, is this the game? And sure enough it is. It seamlessly cuts into the game, and now you're like playing. So it was like immediate like recovery of the entire universe. Look at all this new stuff. Boom, you're into the game. I was really impressed with the fluidity of it. There wasn't any like, hey, your loading screen, video, please wait, loading screen, make a selection. No, it was just like boom, 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 boom. And in my case, it was video, dropping off the battle bus, landing. 4 seconds later, I got shot because I couldn't find a weapon. But
And see, mine was I landed, and I was like by myself,
yeah,
and I could see, and I didn't see anybody else, and it said like there was 50 players. No, I think there was
it was
100
99. Yeah,
because all of a sudden it was there was a message or something about you've outlasted 50 players, or there's only 50 players left or something, and I was like, and I'm just kind of walking around like checking out, oh look, there's the fishing pole, oh let me go and fish in the river, and I'm like doing these, testing out this new stuff, and I'm like, is this even a real match, or is this like against AI to get you
like a
to
tutorial.
kind of yeah, like is it just to let you see the world, kind of walk around a little bit, use some of the new stuff, see what it's like. And then it got down to where there was only 4 people left, and we were getting, and that was the first person I saw was the guy that killed me.
Me too.
I didn't see anyone until I got right down to 4 people, and so yeah, it was. I was like, and the way he was playing, I was like, oh no, that's real. That wasn't a bot, because I was like, I was kind of figuring like, oh, they'll probably have this scripted so that you win, but it's more of like a tutorial. And no, it was a real game. So, but it was really neat. And yeah, I'm watching him fall, and then all of a sudden I was like, I saw the thing, hit X to deploy your shoot, and I was like, oh wait a minute, like this is gameplay now. So yeah, really well done. And then yeah, so cool. It was, so go ahead.
Yeah. So as far as changes, they basically redid, I want to say, like almost every aspect of the game in some ways. So I can't even imagine how long this has been in the works. It's got to be at least a year, if not longer, at least. And again, being in the technical industry, I've got a programmer background. I can't even imagine what it was like to maintain 2 different code bases, both the old and a new, for as long as it probably took them to get this thing rolling. But we've got a whole new map, all different biomes, all different areas. There's landmark areas. There's named areas, as they call them. There's boats. Mark mentioned the fishing poles, so you can actually fish and pull like healing fish. I think some give you shield, some give you health, and you can pull weapons out. And it's actually really well done, where it's like so you have a fishing pole, you throw the line in, and so you have a little bobber, right? A little float that's kind of like sitting there, and you watch it to, jump up and down. Then you hit the button to pull it back. Something comes back, and it actually drifts with the current. So the water does have a current. It's not stationary. And, it'll, your stuff will, or your fishing lure will actually move out of the target zone, because there's a target zone that you have to aim for.
You actually don't have to.
Or is that where all the good stuff is?
I think there, at those places, that's where there's a plethora of fish.
Mm-hmm.
And you can usually walk up, and if it's close to shore, you can see the fish swimming around.
Yeah, you can.
But you can toss the fishing rod into areas where without that and still get fish.
Can you get weapons or no?
I don't know. I haven't pulled. Actually, yes, I did pull tonight. Actually, I did get a blue submachine gun from just like a barren river spot area that there was no ripples. I pulled out some small fish, and then I did get a weapon. So I think you can fish anywhere.
Okay.
You might have a better odds at those ripple areas because there's more fish, or maybe you'll get a better shot of stuff. Because everything I was pulling out was small, little stuff on the where it wasn't. But it seems like you can fish anywhere you want.
Okay.
So.
But yeah, like I mentioned, so the water, like the river has a current and you can swim. So when you go into the water and it's deep, you'll actually start swimming, and you can swim with the current, or you can go nowhere if you go against the current. So the current actually is a big deal. I think we mentioned boats a little bit ago. There is a different.
Also,
Go ahead.
also, if you shoot somebody in the water, their the materials or whatever the loot that you get from them does float on the water, and it will also go downstream too. So you might have to chase after it if you're in an area with the current. You'll have to chase it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but it's neat because I noticed that tonight. I was like, this stuff is actually comes up to the and floats on the water, so you can still go and pick up loot.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Let's see. There's ability when somebody gets downed, right? When they get knocked down,
Yep.
you can actually pick them up and carry them to
Yep.
safety, hopefully, and not be another statistic. So both of you are down. There's a bandage launcher. What else? Some of the weapons.
Yeah, bandage bazooka.
Yeah. Some of the weapons got changed around. The old burst rifle. There's two bursts that they had. The more annoying one is back. Actually, I don't like any of them. I apparently need a steady stream of bullets to do my takedowns, knockdowns, whatever.
Yeah, the FAMAS is the one that's I can't stand that burst rifle.
Yeah.
That's the one you don't like either.
Yeah. So I think that's most of the stuff in the game. The game does have a little bit of a different look, so it's surely a different graphics engine or different textures. The ambient sound is a lot better. I was telling Mark earlier today that when you go from area to area, you can actually hear a difference in the ambient sound. So it used to be like when you're running on the grass, it has one sound. When you run on the snow, it has a crunching sound. Well, now when you go into like a woodsy area, you hear more like insects and crickets and stuff in the background, not so much in the open areas. And that was just it's a nice touch. Definitely something that's noticeable, I guess, if you've been playing the game a lot. And then
So it got a day-night cycle too.
yeah, rain.
So sometimes rain, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So and I'll tell you what, man, the dusk part, like when it's dusk, man, it can be really hard to spot people. At least, and I don't know if it's everyone or it's just me. I got the old eyes too, and I struggle. But man, when it's dusk, it's not so easy to spot people. And there seems to be a lot more trees. Like the trees are more grouped together, so you can get into the trees and really kind of hide. My son ran in here a few minutes ago. If you saw him on camera, he was showing me his switch. He was hiding in like a waterfall, and he couldn't be seen. He's like, "I'm gonna win! I'm gonna win!" But I noticed that the circle was not. He wasn't centered in the circle.
Yeah.
And sure enough, a little bit later, he came back. He finished sixth, but he was still happy. But yeah, you could totally not see him. He was in the water.
Oh yeah. So that brings up a good point. There's hiding areas like you can hide into garbage cans,
dumpster.
right? The dumpsters, and apparently other places. One thing I'm curious about is if you go underwater, do you have to surface for air? I wonder if
I don't think you can go. He was in it was like a more of like a waterfall. You can't, from what I've tried to see if I could get under the water, it always seems to bring you back to the surface. So I don't think you can swim under and stay under the water.
Okay.
So
it's a limited time thing. Okay.
yeah, I don't know if breathing underwater is going to be an issue or not.
Well, I think the last thing that they want is people to camp out underwater.
Right.
And you'd never see them.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing they need to do is take out the bunny hopping.
Yeah.
Oh man, let's level the playing field, Epic. Get the bunny hoppers, get them out of there.
Well, if you do a better job shooting them, they won't be hopping.
That's true. And I love nothing better when I kill some guy that's building all this because I'm not a builder. I'm slow. I'm old, and a couple of times I've been lucky lately. last couple of days, people are just building like crazy, and I'm just standing there like, where is he? Where is he?
Yeah.
And then they'll leap off the top to come get me, and I'm like, bam, and I just see like killed them. And I'm like, yeah.
Then it rains.
It's so gratifying.
Yeah, it rains loot.
And my kids just look at me, and I'm just like, ha ha, suck on that.
Yeah.
And my kids are like looking at me like, Dad, please.
You're embarrassing
us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, to who? It's just us.
Exactly. Give me my moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get them that often, so.
But yeah, so yeah, there's water, ambience, weather cycles, a lot more modern areas. I think the old Fortnite, it just had like, its stuff was like mishmashy all over the place. You know, there was, for a while, there was like a piratey area. Then there was like a factory, and then a subdivision, and then a junkyard, a graveyard. Now it's more like a modern landscape, right?
Yeah,
Where,
even the cars.
yeah.
My youngest son was like, is that a cop car? That's like a new cop car. He was all like, couldn't believe that.
Yeah.
Like even the cars were updated. And I
Not-
mean, there's stuff that's still the same, like the barbecue and the houses. You know, the barbecue is the same. The houses look the same. You know, but there is like what you're saying. I get, yeah, it feels like everything in that whole area fits.
It's
Where you don't
instead
have like
of
the Viking area and then the pirate area, and you know, and then yeah, it feels like it all
yeah.
is a real world.
Yeah. So the old map, at least up until season 10, you know, it was cobbled together across, I don't know how many seasons, because the first
10.
Yeah, in season in season
10.
1, you know, it was pretty sparse, and then they started adding things in 2, 3, and you know, further on. So again, it was more just a map of add-ons, where now it's, I think, more of engineered or designed landscape. But and then they've added almost like an achievement system, right, with medals that I think reset on a daily basis.
Every 24 hours. Yeah, I maxed mine out today. And this is interesting too, because like when you first get one, they're like bronze. And if you continue to get them or improve on that, they'll go to silver. And I'm assuming they'll go to gold.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
They will, yeah. So right now I've got all of them are bronze and a couple of them are silver. Now the thing is I don't know, like you can't, once you've filled that card, they disappear off the lobby screen, and it tells you like you've done them all. Come back in whatever 18 hours. They say come back tomorrow and they reset. So, but you can keep getting XP, and in the game it keeps popping up, boom, and it'll show you like it changed from bronze to silver because I had like a multi-kill, or I had 4 assists, or and it keeps building on that, so you can continue to get more XP bonuses. I'm assuming it stops at gold, but it would be nice if there was a place to go see, what are those things? Like, what are they? Are they going to, because they don't tell you. You're just playing, and all of a sudden it pops up. Oh, you had, you did 4 assists, or you had a multi-kill, or you killed 5 people in a match, and stuff like that. So it'd be nice to see that. And then the achievements, we even had, was it Richard in our group was asking about, like, where do we see these things? And there's a career page, and it shows you like what you did that day. Don't know if those are the achievements. I'm not 100% positive. It's really weird. It's like, well, where are these achievements? And then what is this career thing? And you can't click into it to get any info. It's just you highlight it, and it was like, oh, you did the first, you partook of the season 11 or whatever,
Yeah, but the first day had an awesome name. It said like day 1, and the title was New Map Who Dis.
Yeah. And then I've done like I was the first person to upgrade a weapon. That's another thing. You can upgrade your weapons in the
Oh,
game.
level them
If you
up.
find
Yeah.
an upgrade,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, you can upgrade them from green to blue to purple to gold. You just have to, and you just use materials. And it does take wood, stone, and
Metal.
steel.
Yeah.
So you have to have all three, and you have to have like from I think gray to was it green to blue is 150 of each.
Yeah. And 250.
Blue to purple's like 250,
250.
and then 350 to get the gold. So, um, if you don't do a lot of building, like I tend not to, then I can still get the mats. So it gives you another opportunity to use materials, even if you're not a builder. You can get the materials to upgrade your weapons. So
And
it's an expansion on that.
that created an interesting situation today where I was in a match and I think it was a gray, so it was a common shotgun, and I wanted to upgrade it. So I just stumbled across that upgrade kiosk. I don't know what else to call it.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I stumbled upon one of those and I didn't have enough stone. So now I'm like running outside around this house trying to break down stone. And it's not always abundant in the area that you're in. And then later on,
Right.
I wanted to upgrade and I was low on metal because at this time I needed 250 for this other weapon. And I was like, all right, I'm in a house. Like everything's wood. It's, where do I find metal? So I was like looking around. So it creates an interesting dynamic. And I think if you want to take advantage of that, especially in the early game where you might drop and not get the best loot in the area that you went into, it'll incentivize you to try to, farm out an equal level of material. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because normally I go after wood because it's fast and it's easy, even though when you build with it, it's not very sturdy, but it's easy and it's quick. Now I'm more incentivized to try to keep those numbers even, right? I'll try to get at least 150 of each early on just so I can upgrade some, low level weapon.
Right. And then you got to decide: do you want to upgrade the weapon and use your mats on that? Because then,
Yes.
if you need to build something later, then you might not be able to, and you might find that upgraded weapon.
No, we don't
So
build. Come on.
you and I don't. We're
We
too
we
old.
let other people build.
Yep. So yeah, it's a really good update. I got no complaints. It's fun. It was nice. My youngest son and my daughter were both just like couldn't wait to get home today
Yeah.
and start playing. So we spent some time playing tonight, which is a lot of fun. And it's just my daughter's happy because she did get to. I think she got to level 90, uh, and she really wanted to get to 100 like my son and I, but she didn't nearly put as much time into it as we did.
Did she?
And
Because I don't think she played at
she's
the beginning of the season, did she?
no,
Yeah. Okay.
so
She won't
so
make that mistake again.
no. So she was all like, I'm gonna be right there with you. So
Nice.
when she got home today, I was just like, yo, level 7. And she's like, Dad. I'm like, oh, you'll get there tonight. Don't worry.
Yeah.
And I think she was
And then some, probably.
at 5 probably when we came on to record. She was already at a 5. So
Yeah.
and my son's a little he's playing, but he's not as happy because he didn't save his V-Bucks.
That's a
And
problem.
so his sister and his dad have the battle pass and he does not.
You got to think ahead.
So he's already like, oh, what can I do to earn money? And I said, I told you, I bought you the battle pass last season, and I told you you'll earn enough to get your battle pass again. I'm not buying it again because it cost me, $40 last season. It was like to buy it for everybody. So I'm like, I'll buy it for you once. You have to save your V-Bucks to buy it again. And if you don't, that's your choice. But don't come asking me to pay it again because I won't.
Exactly.
go find a job somewhere and earn the money from somebody else, not me.
He's counting the
So,
days till his birthday. Christmas is in
this season
Christmas
will
is
be
coming
over.
up. Yeah.
Christmas might be over. Let's see. It's only what 58 days.
What?
The season's only like 58. It even says it on the lobby screen how many days left in the.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like 58 days.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, Christmas might what?
So that's less than.
That'll be before Christmas. This season will be over before Christmas.
So that's less than 10 weeks.
Yeah. 58 days is what? 36. That's 30. What? It's 8, 9 weeks.
8.5, 9.
Yeah. So.
Although they might extend it another week, like a week or two. They've done that in the past a bunch of times.
But they actually put a day in there now. They show you how many days are left. That's in the lobby. So when you're in there next time, you'll see it. I'd say I think if you go to the Battle Pass page, I think that's where it says it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like on the top left side. So.
Yeah.
So.
But most of the other stuff, like the store, is pretty much the same, right?
Yeah.
They changed some of the menus around. I mean, overall, it's. I think it was worth the wait.
I like the Battle Pass screen better.
Yeah.
I really like what they did with it. And this is minor, right? It's stupid. And this shows I spent too much time playing this game. I wish they would switch the challenge tab and the Battle Pass tab. Because I'm always checking the challenges.
Right.
And it's like it should be lobby, challenges, Battle Pass. But instead it's lobby, Battle Pass, challenges. It's like I don't need to see the Battle Pass page every time. But you have to go past that to get to your challenges. And it's an extra click. But when you're going to look at your challenges like after every game, it's like it would save you a lot of clicks over the life of the season.
Maybe they have a user voice you can page.
I know. I'll be like, just swap those two, please. So.
And they're like,
or let us customize it.
They're like, no, we had our team of 47 psychologists that made everything.
Yeah. Because if they don't put it in front of your face every time, then people like my son will forget about it.
Yeah.
And not pay the money to get it. So.
But then when you do have it, I like how they made it so that it's sort of like ingrained into like what you're getting. Like it just shows you, because for me, when I finish a battle, I'm always like, oh, what did I get? I know I got something. What did I get this time? Oh. And when you don't get anything, it's like sad trombone. Wah, 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 wah.
Well, and I hate to drum on. We've been on Fortnite for almost an hour now.
No, over an hour, I think.
Over an hour. Yeah. But so this is our Fortnite episode. Maybe we cut the rest of this stuff and just say we'll talk about it next week, and just this is our Fortnite episode. Because there's other things as we're talking. I just keep, it's a big game, and I know not everybody likes it, but it is a juggernaut, and I think it would behoove us to talk about it some more. And I got a couple other things and these are just like minor updates that they've done, but it's so much nicer.
It's well thought out.
Like when your game ends, you can just ready up and you don't have to go back to the lobby anymore. Like we always would go back to the lobby. People would change, which would annoy me, because especially when you got young kids and their friends are in there, then everybody's got to go play their new dances. And, oh, did you see this one? Did you see this one? Just ready up.
Yeah.
Or they got to go, oh, I got to see what I got. When if you're playing against Rob and he's like, oh, I got something new. Let me go change my clothes. Or, like, come on, Rob, let's just ready up,
hey. You got to look good to play good.
Yeah, I know. So now at the end of the game, everybody can just ready up, and it goes right into another game. And
I wish, though, it gave you the ability to change your party assist.
Yes, that's true.
But then, I mean, if you need to do that, you just go to lobby.
You go back to the lobby.
Yeah.
But so it's nice to have that option. especially if we're all doing things like party assisting where you got to do something in 3 separate games. Well, then, yeah, ready up. We're going to do this 3 times and then we'll go to the lobby. I think that's awesome. Also, in the game, you get the big, nice, what do we call those things? I know you did that thing about the brain and the triggers. And so, like, the big battle pass thing pops up and you've leveled up and the banner comes over. And if you've unlocked something, it tells you while you're in the game what you've unlocked, like a new skin for a gun or a new character. So you know what it was you got right in the middle of playing. So again, you don't necessarily have to go to the lobby to see it because you already know what it was.
You just
And
have
even
to go in there to
was
claim
like,
it.
yeah. But my daughter was like, this is so cool. She goes, I really like that it's telling me this. Like,
Yes.
I like leveling up in the middle of the game. And it felt kind of like Call of Duty-ish. You know, it's like I think they took a page from Call of Duty where the stuff pops up and just like, ooh, I got this, and a headshot, and you know, all these things are going off, and it just kind of it adds to the addiction.
Sure, that's a good way to put it.
You know, but when you see those, that hits like that pleasure center in your brain. You know, I know you did that psychology thing several years ago. I think you did a talk about that, and like, yeah, I think they read the same article because it was just like, ooh, ooh, like the whole game. I'm just, ooh, yay! Oh, I got killed. Ooh,
Yeah.
look at that! You know, it's
Yeah.
like you don't even care when you get killed.
Mark is there, like clapping his hands like a little schoolgirl, all giddy.
Yay!
Yeah.
Oh,
No, and even at the end of the levels, like, okay, so not levels, missions, but previous seasons you would get experience points for playing, but you basically it was hidden, right? You had to go to a separate menu at the end of the game to see how many points you scored. Did you ever go into that at all? Maybe once.
Are you talking about now? You can just hit X to bring up your stats.
No. So at that, let's say you just finished a battle, right? And
Okay.
you know it shows you, you know, who won, victory royale, whatever. Previously, you would go into like game stats, game info, or whatever. It was on the lower right corner,
Okay.
right next to leave match. And you could actually see how many experience points you got in that mission. And, you know,
okay.
what kind of bumped you up. So this thing was totally like hidden and people didn't even pay attention to it. I know you need experience points to level up some of the characters,
Right.
you know, to get the new skins and so forth. But, you know, other than that, it's just like, I don't really care about this stuff. And then every once in a while, it's like, oh, I got a new Vendetta skin. Oh, I got another unlock for Lux or whatever it is. And now what they did at the end is, I mean, you see these experience points like, you know, slamming in, incrementing, the next one jumping in, incrementing. And when I saw it, it kind of like, oh, this is kind of nice. You know, you get it. It is sort of like a little reward, and it shows you, both visually and audibly.
Yep.
And I'm like, this thing is just like a freaking slot machine.
Yes.
At the end of the game, it's like ding 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 ding, and it's like it is a psychological reward.
Yep.
And I'm like, I'm on to you.
Well,
more dings, please.
the thing too is like you can hit when you're at that screen, you can press X and it'll pop up like your stats, like how many eliminations you had, how many assists, what's your accuracy, stuff like that. So that's real easy to get to, and I don't believe that was there before. Maybe it was. Again, like you said, it was kind of hidden, and you know, and I know there's lots of times I'm like, well, I don't know. The game would end, and I'm like, well, I don't know how many eliminations I had. Like, unless I'm paying attention when that clock is like, okay, we're at 90, I've got 6 eliminations, you know, then I'll know. But there's been games that have ended. I'm like, I have no idea how well I did or how bad I did. No.
Right.
And I didn't know about replays. I'm still trying to figure that out. I had one today, man. I so badly wanted a replay of that. I had like 11 eliminations. I had like a triple kill. It was just, and I'm just sitting there, woohoo! I'm like, just, oh man, I was on a high, and I was just like, just wrecking people.
Just so
And I'm
you,
like, I want to see it again. I just
you
want to
know,
sit and watch it.
not to steal your thunder, but I was right behind you and I was shooting at those same
Yeah,
people.
whatever. You
And
weren't even in the
your
game.
one stray bullet is what killed him.
Doesn't matter. I got the credit for
You
the
stole
kill.
my kills,
I don't care. I'll take them any way I can get
all
them.
11 of them.
Oh goodness.
That's funny.
So
But yeah, I mean,
it's a really good update.
yeah,
So
it's a really good update. Save the World didn't get all that much of an update. They released a roadmap today that had like what's coming down the pipe for the rest of the season. It's largely the same game. Again, some minor changes here and there, but the big thing for Save the World on the roadmap, at least, it's coming, I think, in the 11.20 update, which is going to be what, like 4 weeks from now? Is they're going to do something to address people that are AFK. So this is kind of
no,
a big problem.
those are my favorite people.
Yeah. It's kind of like, I don't want to say a huge problem, but an occasional problem in Fortnite, Save the World. And it's really annoying. And what this is, so in Save the World, you get up to 4 people that battle in a mission, you know, trying to defeat the husks and, you know, carry out a specific mission, whatever it is. And there's a lot of people that will go in and, well, not a lot. There are people that will go into a mission and just basically not do anything. They'll just stand there. I had this one tool in a mission where all he did was he stayed in this one area and he was just dancing the entire time. Did like barely anything to contribute to the whole mission. I saw he did register some kills. But the thing is, it's like if you get somebody who is blatantly not contributing, it can cause you to lose the mission.
I can see that in that mode.
Yes.
Not in Battle Royale.
No.
Those are the ones I'm looking for. Okay,
I know, right? Those are easy kills.
Oh, look, that guy's on his phone. Bam, headshot. I can dance over his body.
Yeah. No,
you answered that work email, sucker.
No, it's funny. Like, I'll like in the old one, in the old maps. I don't know if the new one has the same kind of bush, but there's like some kind of plant that from a distance would look like a person just standing there.
Oh, I hated those, dude.
Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, is that somebody? And I get kind of close. I'm like, no, it's that bush.
Dude, I've shot at those stupid bushes.
You know,
ooh, they're not moving, and I'm sniping,
Yeah.
and pew, headshot. Like, hey, how come nothing happened?
yeah.
Hacker? Oh, no, it's just a bush.
Yeah. It's not the round bushes. It's these like skinnier bushes. But anyway.
yeah, there was stuff in there that looked like people.
Yeah.
So I know exactly what you're talking about.
But yeah, so there are some missions that require 4 people, and especially if the game gets upvoted in difficulty to get more rewards, you need all 4 people. And you know, it's just not cool. So they're going to do things like they're going to reduce rewards for people that don't contribute, and also it was unclear to me exactly on if they were going to remove those people from the game or if they were going to remove people that disconnected. Because in the last couple of months, there was an issue where when people disconnected, they were still in the game for sometimes the entire game, just standing there. But, and then there's some new events that are coming, you know, Halloween based. They used to have Hexylvania in prior years. They'll probably come back with that same thing. But the story, I guess, is that Ray, the robot, made a deal with Kevin the Cube to carry out 4 dark rituals or something like that. So that's the season. But yeah, not a whole lot with Save the World. It's, you know, Battle Royale got like a 99% update, and like everything Fortnite Save the World maybe got like a 10%, but we'll see. there's like a big rumor that it was going to go free to play finally, because it was supposed to go free to play back in last November, and that
Yeah.
did not happen. But I'm just curious to see if we're any closer to going um, free to play on that, because
I need to get back into Save the World. It's fun, but it's so different. It's like it is
Mhm.
so different from Battle Royale. It really is. They are two very different games.
no, it's I think for us, because I think we have a similar view of the game, at least Battle Royale on that side, where the most satisfying thing is collecting, right? Doing the
Yeah.
achievements, um, because there's a lot of days where I'll log in and I'll play Battle Royale, and then as soon as I get all my
Challenges.
challenges done, I'm off, or I go into Save the World. It's like
Yeah.
that's my motivation to do that stuff.
Right.
And the Battle Royale game is just a method to accomplish that. And Save the World is a lot more satisfying. It's a lot more creative, by building your trap structures. And, it's like, well, how, like, this base is on top of this hill. And it's got two ramps leading up to it where the enemy can come. It's like, where am I going to put all my traps? How am I going to, do this to help me assist in completing the level? And it's also very satisfying from the standpoint of leveling up, because you're leveling up your character, you're leveling up your weapons, you're collecting things as well. So it's also got that kind of hook, and it's also a lot of fun. But 99% of people that play Fortnite, I'm sure, don't have no idea what it is. It's just that other screen that they never go into that you have to pay for, and they don't want to pay for it. However, Save the World goes on sale fairly regularly throughout the year for $20 as the entry level version, because normally it's 40. So people won't even pay $20 for Save the World, but they buy skins all the time. I read this news story where this parent I think it was in England, was upset because their child had spent they were like upset about the game disappearing because it was like the end. At least that's what I guess their kid told them. And they were upset because their child had spent £3,000 in the game. That's crazy. That is just insane. If that's legit, right? But I can see it happening for people that if there's a kid that wants to collect everything, right? Every pickaxe, every dance, every banner, everything, you could easily drop
Oh,
what,
lots of
a
money.
couple hundred a week, probably.
Oh, easy, easy. Yeah, because there's stuff in there today, and it changes every day. And there's stuff in there today that's like one item is $20,
Yeah.
and they've got what, two, four, about 12 new items every day. I think it's 10 to 12 items every day, and it changes every 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And there's stuff that's 200 V bucks, but even that's like $2.
Yeah.
And there's stuff up to 2,000
Yeah.
or more.
Oh yeah.
And those, that's $20. You could easily probably spend a minimum of $25 a day, and I think it costs you more than that to get everything every day.
Yeah.
So,
But
yeah,
there's people out there that do it, and my son's actually watched some YouTubers where their whole shtick is every day when the store changes, which here it's 7:00 p.m.
yeah,
What in daylight savings time, I think.
they go in and buy all the stuff, right?
Yeah. So basically, they stream right at the store just prior to the store change, and then they talk about everything, and they buy everything. Oh, look at
Yeah.
this new skin. What's this? And then they purchase it. And so I'm sure that that doesn't, or I'm sure that helps Epic's cause of getting kids to buy to buy games when they see these people buying everything, and then the YouTubers or the streamers with their huge collections of emotes. But the thing is, Listen, here's the PSA, right? The PSA for this episode. You can only wear one skin at a time. You can only do one emote at a time.
That's right.
Yeah.
Dude, my son every day, Dad, you should buy that. I'm like, why? Because he wants it. He wants me to buy it for him. He would buy them every day and swap them out. He's always swapping them out.
Yeah.
If I get something I think's kind of cool, I'll put it on. But then it's like, for some reason, I swear I suck at the game, and I got to go back to the skin that I'm used to.
Superstition.
And then it's like, boom, I'm back on my game, even though I suck no matter what.
Yeah.
It's mentally, I feel like I'm doing better when I got my main character.
Yeah, it's familiarity, right?
So, yeah, he would mix it up every other round, and usually he does. And I'm like, no, it's the same person every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got your one that you always use. I have my one, although I've been going back and forth between two lately, but I still use my main one like 70% of the time.
Yeah.
80%.
Yeah.
But anyway, you think that's enough Fortnite talk for this episode?
I think that's enough.
An hour and 36 in.
I think we shelve the rest of this stuff for next week, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's late, and there was a lot to talk about. So
no, absolutely. And I know a lot of folks kind of tease us, on the groups and elsewhere about us turning into a Fortnite show. And you know what? The thing you got to admit, though, is that, yeah, Fortnite's been out for a while. A lot of people are tired of it. But there's no denying it's a huge game. It's a huge game. There's millions of people playing it every day. And it's a big deal, especially if you got all these major news outfits like in the past 2 days covering it. And there's a lot of people are like, Fortnite, what's that? Like the people that don't have kids and that aren't gamers, they have no idea what it is. They got to hear about the Black Hole event, right? They heard it at least once in the past 2 days. So that's the end, I guess, to our Fortnite episode.
I'd say
let's do. Now we go into the black hole. Oh, and one thing.
Let's do our retail releases.
Sure. And the one thing I wanted to mention, did you notice that with like how they did the black hole? So like everything went into it, it all flattened to a line, and then it kind of like went into the center, and then it turned into the black hole. That reminded me of what we used to see when we used to turn off the old TVs. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
They did that on purpose, like the end, like you're shutting something off. I mean, it was by design, and I was like, I see what you did there.
Well, even the TVs in the game are like the old console tube TVs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's where those would happen.
Yeah. So that's cool. All right. I don't think we got any of that stuff. So we'll tear through the community section. You can leave us a voicemail at this xboxlife.com. Click on the widget, leave a message up to 90 seconds in length, or send us an MP3 recording to contact this Xbox Life. Also, we have a Twitter page and a Facebook group. The Facebook group is a closed group, so you have to ask for membership. Do that just to keep the spammers out. And you have to answer 2 incredibly easy questions to get in. Please answer the questions. And then on to this week's retail releases. Let's see how loud this thing's going to be.
Okay, Rob, what you got for us today? What you got for us to play? Give us a list of games that we can buy and play. Okay, Rob.
Okay, retail releases for the week of October 15th through the 18th. So that would be Tuesday through Friday, I believe, right? Yeah, Tuesday through Friday. We have what?
15th to the 18th, right?
Yeah, 15th through the 18th.
Okay.
We have on the 15th, Children of Morta. That's today. Also today, Planescape Torment Enhanced Edition, Icewind Dale Enhanced Edition. So these are two pretty popular old school games. Sort of like the old Fallout variety. But good stuff there. Also, Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2 Enhanced Editions. I think these got pushed back from a couple weeks ago. Also, The Fisherman Fishing Planet, Zombieland Double Tap Road Trip. Tomorrow on the 16th, we have Just Ignore Them, Soul, Ping Redo, which is Xbox One X Enhanced. And man, this game is something else. I think the Durburger game looks better than this thing.
I'm like, how is that an Xbox One X Enhanced? It looks terrible.
Yeah, so it's, it looks like a combo of
Space Invaders and...
Yeah, Space Invaders, Galaga, and what are those things? Perler beads? You know what I'm talking about? Those little round guys that you put on that little pegboard thing, and then you put an iron on it, and you like melt them together. It's like a kid craft thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ping Redux. Then on the 17th, we have Sea Salt, Felix the Reaper. This is the one we talked about a couple weeks ago where the guy sounded like Arnold Schwarzenegger. We have on 17th, Stella, the Jackbox Party Pack number 6. Stranded Sails, Explorers of the Cursed Islands, Kine. On the 18th, and on the 18th, we have Pig Eat Ball, Orbital, The Return of Obra Dinn, Driven Out, Ice Age, Scrat's Nutty Adventures, Plant vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville, and Megaquarium. So it's a pretty big week for releases, and
the PVZ Battle for Neighborville actually looks really good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I guess your typical Plants vs. Zombies game though, right? Garden Warfare.
Yeah.
2 and all that. Not I mean just typical, but I mean it's along the same lines.
I believe it's along the same line, but it looks like there's a lot of new features. So it looks good. The game looks really good too. These were fun. I liked the Garden Warfare games. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So Plants vs. Zombies, and for a party game, Jackbox Party Packs are pretty fun.
Yeah, the Jackbox games are good.
Yeah, and then Planescape and Icewind Dale. Those are probably the shiny pennies.
Well, after you get Ping Redux.
Yeah. Oh, and
that is
Baldur's
Xbox
Gate
One X
too.
Enhanced.
Yeah, but Baldur's Gates, Planescape, and Icewind Dale. Those are classics.
Yeah,
and they're substantial games. I mean, it's a good time sink for those. You don't finish those in like 5 to 8 hours. That's for sure.
Nope.
Okay, and I think that's about it for the new releases. For Games with Gold, we've got leaving today is We Were Here for Xbox One, and through the month of October, we have Tembo, the Badass Elephant. And brand new tomorrow is Friday the 13th, the game. For Xbox 360 back compat, Disney Bolt is leaving today. And tomorrow we have Ninja Gaiden 3, Razor's Edge. So that's it for the Games with Gold. Then lastly, just our quick announcements. If you make any purchases on Amazon, please use our affiliate link. You can find that at the Facebook group and also on our website. That's a great way to support the show. Just use that link each and every time you make your Amazon purchases. Just click through there. And we get a tiny finder's fee for sending you their way, but it doesn't cost you anything extra. Also, if you're on iTunes, oh, wait, didn't they? I was going to ask Mark. Didn't they just shut down iTunes or something like that?
What?
I thought iTunes is going away or something. I don't know. I'm not an iTunes user. Yeah, I heard something or about iTunes is going away and they're going to replace it with like 3 separate programs. I don't know. But anyway,
I don't know.
I think it's still there now. Find us within there and give us a review, 5 stars if you could. That helps boost us in the rankings over there, helps grow the community. Also, we're on Mixer, Twitch, and YouTube. Subscribe to us on there so you can find out when we're and turn on notifications for the services that need it, so you can find out when we're broadcasting or when we're doing the recording. And thanks to Learned Your Lesson for the music. And for Amazon, if you linked Amazon Prime to your Twitch account, then you have Twitch Prime. You get a monthly subscription on there. If you can't throw it our way, we would definitely appreciate it. But definitely don't let it go to waste. Give it to somebody, preferably us. So that's it for episode 545, The Black Hole. Alrighty. So, do you have anything else you want to add, or?
Nope.
Got it. All right. So I'm Rob, also known as Presar. Thanks for listening, everybody. Catch y'all next week.
Mark, aka Weekman 709, taking off.
Pay no attention to the destruction in the kitchen.